Although there seems to be some confusion with the governor's office, as far as I understand it, this is my last meeting, and I leave the board, and I selected not to be reappointed. So I just wanted to really just say two things. One was just what a wonderful learning experience this has been for me, how much I've appreciated working with you and working with all of you on the board. And, I've really just enjoyed the process, enjoyed the people, enjoyed the learning. It has been deeply frustrating and troubling over the years. I complimented Mr. Worthley on the ways in which he has balanced ideology and evidence, the ways that we've worked through political things. I think a lot of time this board has gone ahead and made great decisions and then surrounded them with way too much rhetoric. And so that's really been a challenge for me. I think I have three disappointments that I wanted to share about topics that I feel like we haven't attended to adequately over at least this 5 years, and that I feel like I really hope that in this emerging climate in California, emerging political climate in California, that we can continue to talk about these. So three topics. One is CEQA. One of the issues that I think we've struggled with is how little capacity we have to really work with the localities, with the counties and the cities, to think about more compact, more environmentally friendly growth patterns. And just over this period, the degree to which we've eaten up farmland, the degree to which we've continued to expand the urban footprint of each of our cities is really dramatic to see. And in that process, this is a process where you kill the goose that lays the golden egg. As we continue to eat up the farmland, as we continue to urbanize the region in a thoughtless way, a relatively thoughtless way, in terms of how do we become more efficient in the use of land. And I understand the limits of CEQA, and I understand the legal structure, and we've also made commitments to reach out and work with the counties and the cities in a more active way, to really educate them about the implications of their actions and to offer alternatives. And I just haven't seen that implemented successfully in terms of really making a change in how the counties and the cities think about expanding their footprint. Secondly, environmental education. The board supported some very exciting programming that was reaching into schools through a community organization, and then it's moved back to another approach that seems to be perhaps equally effective. None of it seems like enough. California falls way below national standards in terms of environmental education. And it seems to me, in terms of teaching people not only about the value of conservation, but also about how pollution occurs, how pollution is cleaned up, and the range of human, social, economic costs associated with air pollution and other forms of pollution. We're not meeting the national standard in terms of that education. And if any place ought to be a kind of a national model for teaching young people, for engaging young people in thinking about pollution and sustainability as a kind of a key element of our nation and our state and our region's challenge moving forward, that would be a real loss. So I do hope that we can renew a conversation about environmental education. And the third thing I just want to share, and it's a theme that I've repeated a lot, it's economic analysis. We really have not done a full-blown and ongoing set of modeling of the economic costs of pollution, the economic costs of incentives, the ways in which the counties, the district, the localities benefit and lose from current policies and practices. we really do not fully understand the economic impacts of our efforts. We do not fully evaluate choices around how do we create sustainable agriculture. We don't evaluate fully choices around a range of urban issues that have clear impacts for the environment. This is not work that I expect the district to do alone or even to fund, but I think it can be the leader around it, around really calling together people to fully assess where are we going in the region? Are we creating a sustainable model here? And how do we move in the direction of sustainability? And, you know you hate the element of the EPA law that calls for talking about draconian solutions and worst case scenarios. I see the value of that piece, as irritating as it can be, as being around moving forward a discussion of sustainability. How are we going to create an environment? How are we going to create a system here that really can move into the next, the rest of the century, and we survive? So those are my disappointments. I have so much that I'm excited about, but we've had a lot of talking about what's gone well, and other people, leaders on the board, really take responsibility for so much of that positive movement. So I want to thank those efforts. I deeply love how much everybody here cares about the environment, cares about our fellow human beings and the place we live. Yeah, that's all I wanted to say. And thank you, and go forward.